Hello everybody, welcome to the technical analysis video by Aggregated Finance. Today is the 29th of March 2022 and it's early in the morning, just before the US markets open. Before we get into things, of course, you should be aware the contents of this video do not constitute financial nor investment advice. The analysis presented is for educational purposes only, and Aggregated Finance are not loss liable for any losses incurred as a result of this video, and any trading that you do is done entirely at your own risk. Alright guys, what amazing follow through. Those of you that have been watching the previous videos where we call the low in cryptos, exactly at around this point here, things started to take off and we've done phenomenally. We've gone literally straight up. We got that sideways consolidation above the 50 moving average, which is now pointing upwards, and that was like a coil that was ready to spring forth, and yet it did exactly that. So looking at the daily chart, this is Bitcoin. We are now at the 200 moving average, which ordinarily would be some resistance. Let's take a look at Ethereum and see what's going on there. Just switching through now, exactly the same chart. We called the low here, we moved above, we had a bit of a consolidation there, and up we go higher. The fact that these candles are small in size is a positive in my opinion. It means the market is gradually going high. If we got a big green bar, that normally indicates the end of a move, or we're near the end of a move. The fact that we've got bars that are sort of tight, tight consolidation and small in size, relatively speaking, means that there should be continued upside in these cryptos. Let's look at the weekly chart, something that's often missed. Wow, look at that. We have now, or we are this week, moving above the 20 MA. So similarly, like on the daily, what we would need to see at some point is some sort of sideways consolidation so that the 20 MA turns upwards. Let's just take a look at Bitcoin as well, the weekly chart there. Just switching through now, and a very, very similar thing that is going on there. So where do we go from here? Let's go back to the daily. As I say, we are into the daily 200 moving average. We got a bit of a pullback yesterday. My own opinion is that we continue higher. I really like this tight band here, these small candles, so it doesn't indicate an exhaustion move. But assuming we do move high, I mean, we may get a pullback. If we do, that can only be a healthy thing, again, as long as we remain above these moving averages. But I think the next sort of hard point of resistance will be this pivot around the $51,000 level, and similarly on Ethereum. Let's take a quick look at the main equity markets. This is the daily chart of the SPY. This is the ETF that tracks the S&P 500. Amazing move off the bottom. If you look back, we called the low on the 24th of March here, and we pulled back. We didn't even get close to testing that low. We held it twice, and off we are to the races. We're now above the 50 moving average, the yellow line. Although it's still pointing downwards, you can see the gradient is starting to taper off, and we should soon start turning higher. We're into resistance here at this pivot point here, but again, as long as we remain above the moving averages, that could and should bode a risk on environment that we are in. Something new I want to look at back in to cryptos is the chart of AGFI. This is of course our very own crypto fund. Looking at this, so we can see we have moved above the 20 MA on the daily chart, which is a good positive. The next milestone would be for I suppose the 50 MA to continue lower, and then price will move above. We go sideways, and then up we go further. So things are looking like things are lining up nicely on AGFI, of course. We have also had a request in to look at this one, VRA. There's a lot of positives here. We've got this sideways consolidation, and up we've gone above the 50 MA, which should start to turn higher shortly. 20 MA is already pointing upwards. As long as we remain above these two moving averages, I would give this a bullish bias. A convenient place for this thing to go to would be these pivot highs here, and then possibly the 200 MA. It's very difficult to tell off the bat. Is this going to run straight for the 200 moving average, or will it linger sideways? If it lingers sideways, that would mean it's building more pressure to go even higher. So the fact that price might not shoot up straight away is actually a good thing in the long run. I've also been asked to take a look at this one, UBT, which I'm going to look at in euros. Again, we've got a positive here because we are above the 50 MA, which has already turned higher. 20 MA is moving high, and we are consolidating. See, we're into the 200 moving average, and rather than come back down in price, we've gone sideways. This looks like a bullish consolidation to me. Let's take a quick look at the weekly chart and see if we can make out anything more here. Nothing really to go off on there, but again, we're above the 20 MA. What we need to do is need to go sideways a bit for a little bit longer. This 20 MA needs to turn higher, and then it should mean that this thing can then run. So going back to the Ethereum chart, as I say, we are into the daily 200 moving average. We need to see, do we pull back or go sideways, or do we go straight through? Again, it would be more beneficial if we do go sideways, build up more pressure, wait for these moving averages to cash up, and that should push us higher. Let's take a quick final look at the weekly chart. I would say if we get through this area here, the next area of resistance will probably be around the just over the $4,000 level. Alright guys, with that, I want to thank you for joining me, and I'll catch up with you guys again very soon this week.